Okay, guys, welcome to our team call for Tuesday, January 10th. And tonight, I wanted to chat with you guys about the in-play process, I guess, and then moving people from in-play, which we haven't spent much time talking about, to a challenger, and then making sure that our challengers are getting results. And the reason that I'm kind of bridging all these things together is because, number one, I know last week I asked what would be helpful, and a few of you, someone added, I think it was Shannon, added like how to get challengers results, and then someone else said that would be helpful too. So I had already had that kind of in my mind, and it's been something that I've been working on. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've been working on these processes, and I don't want this to overwhelm you, what I'm about to show you. It's just meant to kind of help you figure out, and if you want to use my system, then by all means, I'm like obviously here to help you figure it out for you. It's just meant to help us get organized and to figure out how to best give our people results. I sort of had like a mini freak out whenever I hit like my all-time record last month with Success Club. So I knew that I had to pull it together and really figure out how to get all these people the results that they wanted and give them the best experience too. So first and foremost though, actually I'm going to share my screen. Hang on one second. I made like a little PowerPoint. Can you give mommy like 30 minutes of just very good boy time? Yes, you can. Yes. Okay. All right. Can you guys see this? Can someone just say yes and unmute? Because I can't see any of you guys when it's like this.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Cool. Okay, so, first, I don't know why I made a slide that said but first. But for real, first, before we get started, I want to take a minute and celebrate a few people that have been just on fire, as always, since they started right out of the gate. And just a couple things, they're not all Success Club related. And that's, I mean, I would have celebrate. What do you know? They're all in Success Club already. Shannon, Nikki, and Katie. But Shannon is officially a team builder. And Nikki officially won her ticket to Summit. And then Katie, I just wanted to put you up there too because you've been working really hard to lock in Success Club super early. So I just wanted to take a moment and celebrate all three of you guys for your success so far in the month and just really coming in and giving it your all. So congratulations to you guys. All of those things are a really big deal. So you should be super proud of yourselves. Does anyone have anything else? If so, you can unmute. No? Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but because this call really, I don't want to talk about the actual invite, but more so after the process and when we start asking them questions. So this all starts, we send an invite, we keep it super casual. This is the point where we start here with letting our personality show. You know, like this isn't some really proper, like, would you ever consider, you know, like that's never how I would recommend that you send an invitation. We make it super casual so it piques the interest, and it's something that maybe they see as a fun way to get in shape and to be a part of the community. Hopefully, you know, they can bridge the gap between what it is that you're sending in the invite and what they've seen on your social media, if you're keeping up with the social media aspect of it too, and kind of speaking to what you really enjoy about what we're doing. So when they ask you, what does that entail? You can just jump right into, that's so awesome, I'm excited. But then it's super important that we're taking that step back and we're asking about their personal life so that we can really get to know them and kind of, again, like go back into building the relationship. So let them talk, not them. Let them talk. Let them talk about why they want to do this, what their health and fitness goals are, where they're struggling. Usually that question kind of opens up the gates. So from there you can tell them like, okay, great. You know, these programs that we have, we can get you results no matter what your goals are. So that's what's really cool about this. And then from there, just asking their permission to ask questions so that you can best guide them to what they want to see. So that's the first step. And this is where I'm starting. So from this point on, the person has said, okay, I'm interested. You say, okay, do you have any health and fitness goals? Do you mind if I ask you some questions? So what I do at that point is that's when I consider them in play, right? So from there, I have a system called Streak. Again, please don't let this overwhelm you. We can organize this another way. I also used to use a folder where I would move people through tabs in this way, or just mark to the side. So now I use Streak. Okay, hang on. So I have these categories, and I keep it super simple. Am I asking them questions? Am I giving them information? Have I given them the price? Did I give them the sign-up options, which are discount coach or customer, or, you know, obviously regular coach? Are they set up in the app? Have they confirmed in the app and are all set up and good to go? So I keep it this way so I know, and this is called my in-play list. We should always be striving to have at least 10 people that we're sort of like moving through the process with, because you want to make sure, you know, people are going to disappear. People are going to not respond to your question for like 2 weeks. So as long as you have them in here and you kind of know that, and you know who you're talking to and who you're focusing on, then you're on the right track to hitting your goals for the month, right? So for me, what I do is I have an alert set up, or I know I just do it every Sunday, is I kind of go through and see if I slacked off updating my in-play list, and I put my people in. And or if someone didn't respond to me for the week, then they go into the no category somewhere else on a follow-up list. So that's it. I keep it super simple. I've tried a lot of different things, and I think when we make it too complicated, it just like we get stressed out about it, and like you can't keep up with it. But for me, it's like, okay, they didn't respond. I haven't heard anything from them. You know, obviously, if they write me back, then I'll put them back on. But they're off the list, and you need to replace that person with someone else that is interested in in doing a program. So that's what I mean by in play. And this all happens in my Facebook message. I don't move anyone to email anymore. Okay, Eden, I heard you. I don't move anyone to email anymore. Toast. We love toast. Until they're completely signed up, and then I'm ready to send them the welcome email. It's not even toast, it's bread with honey on it. So, okay, once they're confirmed, I send them you already have toast. Once they're confirmed, I send them the welcome email. So at this point, this is when you really want to start thinking about, like, how can I help this person? Where did you need help? You want to personalize their experience, because not everyone's the same. You know, Eden, please, you have honey. It's enough. Trust me. You're not going to be up until 12 p.m. Okay. So, I lost my train of thought. All right. So everyone's experience is different. And we want every experience to be different. And we kind of want to make sure that we're catering to what our person's needs are. And we should have a good idea of that already, because we took the time to answer those questions before they got signed up. But then at that point too, in the welcome email, it's super important to send them some kind of questionnaire. So that's something that's going to ask like what their struggles are, or what their where they're comfortable most, or what they're most worried about, what their goals are. I started putting in a question that was, will you craft your I will statement, which I think is kind of fun because it helps me focus in on that one thing, like what we do with our businesses. Like in 21 days, I will lose 10 pounds in 21 days, you know, and maybe they have all these goals, like they want to gain energy and they want to have a healthy transformation and they want to, gain confidence. But at the root of it all, like what they really want is they want to lose 10 pounds, and that's what's going to make them feel good. And that's okay. Whatever their goal is okay, as long as it's theirs. And that's what you need to focus on too, right? And then from there too, we need to set the expectation. So I know a lot of you guys, me included, struggle with what do we do when people disappear? And I think, people are going to disappear, and that's because they're afraid to disappoint you or they're embarrassed. It just happens. But if we set the expectation from the beginning, that's really like all we can do is we set the expectation and we follow through on our word and what we told them that we were going to do, then we've done the right things. We're keeping them engaged. We're setting the expectation, which is, hey, part of this whole deal is that you have to show up in a challenge group and post and log your workout every day. So that's what I'm expecting of you. And then asking them if you have their permission to hold them accountable. On my new questionnaire, I actually gave 10 thumbs. And I said, how many thumbs? 1 to 10. 1, you don't have my permission to hold me accountable. And 10 thumbs is, 100% hold me accountable. So I asked them, do you want me basically to call you out or not? Because I will, and that's my job if you want that from me. So setting an expectation, asking them if we have their permission to hold them accountable, and then asking them what they need from us to be successful. So what I mean by that is, I think we all pretty much ask the question, how, do you want to be checked in on and how often? And that's what I mean, make sure that they're being honest about what they need from this. So if they need you to check in with them every day, then, that's what you're going to do. I'm sure other top coaches don't say that, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them what they need to be successful. And then from there, the next thing I do is I'm sending the next steps email. So I have the welcome, and then I send the next step. And the next step is just a response to their questionnaire. So I'm speaking to their struggles. I'm giving some recommendations based on what their struggles were. If they're saying oh, I'm really afraid of getting cravings, then I'm saying, totally get it with the cravings. What I would recommend is feeling out where you're getting your cravings most of the time. So do your cravings come in the morning because you're used to having that sugary treat, or do your cravings come when you're cooking and you're bored? Where is it stemming from, and where can you put your Shakeology into your day to make sure that you're combating that? So just speaking to those struggles through different recommendations that you have that have worked, that you've seen other people have success with too, so that you can help them feel like they can conquer these different things that they're worried about, right? Speaking to their strengths, helping them see where the strengths, where they're comfortable, are assets to them, and they're going to be able to help them. If I have someone say they're most comfortable with a meal plan, I'm like, oh my gosh, great that you're comfortable with the meal plan, because that's something that really holds a lot of people back because they get so overwhelmed. So you're a step ahead of the game because you're comfortable with the food, and food is half the battle, and that's awesome. Just encouraging them through their strengths and speaking to recommendations to their weaknesses. I've also started telling them when to expect the check-ins. So I scheduled it out, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I scheduled out all the check-ins for 5:15 in the morning, like a crazy person. And I tell them, okay, so you wanted it once a week, it's going to be on Sunday at 5:15 a.m. Or you wanted it 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So just so they know when to expect your check-in, and then I just scheduled an alert in my Google Calendar. I'm also giving everyone book recommendations. So we kind of talked about that in the team page. And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about how everyone's experience really is different. Not to say maybe we wouldn't have one where we all read the same book in the future, but I think it's kind of, come here. I think it's kind of nice to be able to say, okay, you told me you're struggling with confidence. I really think that You Are a Badass would be a great book for you, because I was there, I struggled through confidence, and it really helped me feel like I could pull it together, and I felt empowered. So tell them why you're recommending them this XYZ book. Really, I only have been recommending The Compound Effect, The Gift of Imperfections, or You Are a Badass. So, and then I check in and make sure they received the invite for the app. And then I send the ebook in this one too. And actually, that's a lie. Sorry, I typed that wrong. I send the ebook in the first one, and then I ask if they had a chance to look over it, or if they had any questions in this one too. So, and then from there, I put all the information in their customer files. I just basically created documents for every person, and I organized it with their questionnaire answers. So this is my January file for all the people that are starting on January 9th. So I'm just going to organize it by folders, by month, and I have everyone in there, and I just inputted all the info from the questionnaire in here and their before pictures as well. So this is what it looks like. Oh my God, toast. So this is what it looks like. These are the different things, and I'm basically just highlighting through when I've touched base on each of the different things on the checklist at the bottom. So, and then at the bottom I have like a section for notes that you can't see. I just screenshotted it, but I just took a section for notes. So like when I do my check-ins, I can make a note about what we talked about so that I know what to check in about next time. Like they said they were struggling with getting the orange container in, and I told them like, hey, have you tried, you know, XYZ on a Shakeology bowl and put seeds or pumpkin seeds or whatever it is on their salad, then I know like what to ask. Are they getting the orange container in? They have any more questions? Like, how's that going for them, kind of thing. And then, yeah, I mean, those are just the steps that I kind of plan to take them through to make sure that I'm hitting all of the different points as they're going through their challenge. So that's that. And then this is just,
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have them send their goodbye pictures personally to you?
No, actually, I just started using Jotform to submit the pictures. So it's a program where so I didn't put the goodbye picture link until the next step email. I didn't put it on the first one because I found that people weren't filling out my questionnaire because it had the measurement question, and I didn't want that to hold people back. You know, I wanted to get all the other info. Come here, please. I wanted to get all the other info, and then I have the measurements, weight, and goodbye pictures on Jotform because you can upload a picture. So that's what I'm doing. And then it comes straight to my email, and then I just inserted it into the file. 1 second. Hey, Eden? You're okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Toast. You have so much toast everywhere right now. Okay, so then I'm setting the reminders in my calendar. It looks like this. Like I just put it in every single day, and then from there, okay. And then from there, I just put in like the description, all of the people's names and how much they wanted it and what day that means. So I didn't have to schedule it every day. I put it all in one day, and then I just hit repeat every day. Does that make sense? And then I just organized it like that. And then these are just some questions that you can ask. So some things that you can do when you do your check-ins, like what are you struggling on? You can obviously take notes on that. What are they celebrating? Encourage and inspire. Mention them being a leader and inspiring. A lot of people, guys, like they're looking for some passion, like they're looking for some purpose. So if we're telling them like, hey, you showing up every day in the group and writing about your success is really inspiring to other people, then no more toast, you're good. Then they're going to start thinking about whether or not maybe they could do this too. Like maybe they could have a career. Sorry, I can't think of the toast question. Maybe they could also be a coach and inspire others. So make sure you're touching on that. And honestly, I mean, think about what our challenge group would look like if no one was posting. You know, so we want to make sure that we're encouraging those people that are posting in the challenge group and telling them thank you. And then ask if their friends are noticing or asking what they're doing. Ask if their spouse is on board so you know what that home life is like. Ask them if the group is helping them and what they like about it. It's just all things to just see where they are and feel out their life and make sure that you're really establishing that personal connection. And then from there, I just used all of us. Making sure that we're supporting them through comments. So, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm perfect about this. I really try. I need to get better. That's part of the whole like setting alarms thing. But the comments are so powerful. I mean, I know when someone comments on mine, it seems so much more meaningful than a like. So I know that our challengers who are just starting out with all these life changes really appreciate that stuff too. And I just have, like, the comments are just so nice, and I know that they make everyone feel so empowered. So there's that throughout their whole journey. And then celebrating all things change. And I didn't have time to put a ton of notes in here, but not just, so this isn't just, can I have some corn? So this isn't just, you know, like celebrating behind the scenes or telling them they're doing a great job, but also sending them a card or shouting them out in the public group or shouting them out on Facebook if they'll let you, or and everything. It doesn't have to be like something crazy like they lost 20 pounds, like they lost 5 pounds, or they are on their way to achieving their goals, or they're fitting in a pair of pants. I mean, you guys know what things meant a lot to you. So recognizing those things for our challengers every step of the way, asking them, making sure that we're really prompting them to celebrate the things along the whole journey. Because you guys know that it's not the end destination that's really so powerful, but really all the steps along the way. So I'm going to X out of this so I can see your faces again. Papa. So that was it. I mean, do you guys have any questions about that? I feel like it kind of was interrupted a lot. I'm sure maybe you do have questions. Any thoughts? Or 1 second. Here.
Which form do you use for your questionnaire?
What'd you say?
Which program do you use for your questionnaire? Is it Google or?
I still didn't hear you. You cut out. For Google, for which one?
For your questionnaire.
I typed it, I put it in the team page. I just started using Typeform. I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay, and then which one did you choose from there? Which?
Wait, what?
Did you use a template?
Let me see. Yeah, I think I used a template. Usually when I have things like this, I get so like, oh, I see what you mean. No, I didn't actually. I just started from scratch because it was pretty easy to just, yeah, because then I named it and then I went from there. It honestly was pretty easy. I mean, like there definitely was a tiny learning curve, but to just like type in the questions and you just move them over. And then you can change the font and the colors to be whatever you want.
And then it comes back to you similar to how Google.
Yeah. And I honestly did the JotForm one first, the one where I have people submit the pictures. So I haven't looked into Typeform to see if that one lets you submit pictures or not. I just like Googled it and that was the first thing that came up that JotForm did. So, I mean, if Typeform has the submitting pictures, I would just switch to have both because I like the formatting of Typeform a lot. Was that like totally overwhelming? I think, I don't know, I mean, you don't have to get as crazy as I am, but I feel like for a long time, it really stressed me out that I felt like I didn't know if I was giving my challengers the best experience I possibly could. And for me, I just wanted to be really organized about it. Like I wanted to like know what they were doing and like have them set up and like have a process. So I felt like, okay, I've done all of these things. Like I've given them my best shot. So that's kind of like where my mind was when I was creating the checklist and stuff.
How often are you switching it up? Because I know you're doing like the Google form for the questionnaire for a while.
No, I did all of that for the whole year for 2016. I never switched it up one single time. I literally just did this year, like in the beginning of the month. I don't want to switch it up ever again. I wanted to like have a way to, and I mean, most of this just came from, I'm not going to lie, the Typeform thing is really unnecessary. Like, if you already have Google Forms, like, don't stress it. It's just, I heard it on a podcast and they said it was super pretty, and I said, okay, let me see what it's about. But, like, the main thing that I really want you guys to take away from this is that how important the in-play list is to start, because that's where you're starting the organization process. And then too, like, having a file, I think, you know, like, whether it be online or in a binder, I think just like having a place for each person so you can really organize what their goals and wants are and help guide them through it, their struggles. What do you use? That was Streak. It's free. It's a Google add-on. It's actually, I mean, I can do a whole call on that too if that's something that interests you, but yeah, I don't get crazy with it. There's a bunch of calls with coaches that get crazy with it, and I'm not gonna lie, like, thought I was gonna convert over and do everything there, but I just use it for that in-play list, and then I have like 3 columns on another one that's like I don't even know. Conversation, no. I don't know. Something about no. I know no is a big one. Because I used to have like a no and a follow-up list. And I mean, now I realize that no and follow-up are the same thing, you know? So like, why have 2 separate ones? Because no matter what, if it's a follow-up or a no, you don't know. You don't know if it's a no for good or a follow-up for next time, you know? Are you guys like totally confused right now, or does this help at all? Okay. Do you have any other questions or like comments or suggestions for any of that? Like, do you think that's helpful in helping our challengers get results, or what do you feel?
I think it's nice to have some organization, because I feel like I was following up like that. But if you like individually, but if you just like cut it off, like head them up on it, be like, this is how I'm going to be contacting you. This is what I'm going to be doing. So you stop the questions before they come.
Yeah. And I mean too, like telling like them, like, this is when I'm going to contact you. And then if at any other point you need me in the group, you know, I'll be there in the group. What is Bailey doing right now? No, I love it. It's so cute. I think, you know, like in the future, it kind of helps with our sanity, you know, like we're telling them like, hey, I'm going to follow up with you on XYZ time. If you need me outside of those times, like you can certainly get a hold of me. I'll be in the group, you know, so you don't feel like you're not doing a good job. You're still doing your job. Any other thoughts or like things I could add or questions, or I mean, do you guys like want me to help with like getting this set up, or any specific programs that I use? Like, do you want me to help walk you through them? Like, where can I help? No? Okay. Okay, well.
Do you have the questions? I mean, I signed up as your challenger, maybe like years ago. So I don't remember exactly what was on my questionnaire, but I think I still have a similar one of like when you first did your questionnaire. So,
yeah, I can send you the link to it. I mean, honestly, not like a whole lot of stuff has changed. Just like I added that I will statement. What else? I mean, yeah, I'll send it to you. Like, I will, like, what are you most comfortable with? What are your struggles or worries? Why now was one. And what will this feel like when you accomplish it? Like different things, you know, it's so similar to like how we would coach people on our team, like coaching coaches and coaching our challengers, you know, like we need to help them see where they're going to go through like really pinpointing in on their goal, and then what that goal is going to feel like when they accomplish it. Because that, I mean, that's what we all want. We want that feeling behind the goal. So I think the feeling question and then the why now is like important, because when we check in on them, you know, we can help remind them of why they started if they're floundering. Can you guys?
That face.
Can't. No.
Just to go outside.
Oh, that's my Shakeology. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions, or if you think of anything, let me know. I'm more than happy to always like go through any of the programs that I use and kind of give like tutorials if that helps. So, yeah, let me know.
I just have a quick question, Kelly. The questionnaire is more open-ended now instead of like having check boxes. Is that how you've made it?
Well, yes and no. I've been thinking about that actually, Carly. I have I do have the questions still that were like the check boxes with the struggles and where are you comfortable. That's still there, and goals too. And then I added to it with the like I will statement, the why now, and the feeling. And I think that's pretty much it. But the check boxes for the other things are still there.
Okay. I like that though, the added questions. That gets them to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
Helps you out.
I feel like it's more for us to connect with too, you know, like anyone can do the check boxes, but then like what are we working with as a coach, you know, like people are just checking off everything. I mean, I would do that too. Like, yeah, confidence, energy, like I want all those things.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So Kel,
Yeah.
I like your whole idea with your organization for all the people and like everything you've done, but I don't think I would like need that till later because I don't have as many obviously challengers as you do. So, is there something you could like suggest when we don't have? I mean, you have a ton of people, and I can probably keep track of mine on my, on my own, but eventually I'm going to want to do that. I just don't want to lose track of my like first ones. You know what I mean?
Like your first challengers, you mean?
Yeah. Like I'd like to start those, but I don't necessarily need that right now because I
don't know. I think it might be still good to start. Like I was thinking about it, like, because I've done so many things where it's like sometimes I don't think about the long term, like what does this look like in a year, and it's like, craziness. But I think if I was thinking back, like, if as long as you're organizing it by folder, I think it's still nice to have, because you're going to have a file for them for like they started in January, right? So like you have their name in there, like when they're starting, you could put all their info in. So if they keep going, especially with All Access, you can keep notes for them all along and kind of know like where they went, what programs they did. Like maybe now you can keep up, but like in a year's time, you're going to remember that they did like 21 Day Fix and then Court of Force and then Insanity. Like you'll know everything they did, So
yeah, to be able to keep a file, to keep on them. I was thinking more you were just doing it to keep track of like your communication with them so you knew where you were at with them. But I was thinking maybe more so, like you just said, to keep track of them from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, and that's what I really want it to be. I mean, now because it's the very first month I've done it, it looks like it's just for like the challenge, but I really want it to be like lasting file, like I want to be able to help people all the way through. And so I don't think it matters like how many people there are. It's just a way that like we can make sure that we're helping them and we know what they've been up to and where they've been through the whole thing, So if they fall off, like
yeah, that seems a little bit more useful to me now. I was like, well, I kind of know where they all are right now. I don't need to write it down, but
yeah.
That makes sense. Sorry, Bailey's nuts.
Oh my God. And I mean, the other thing is too, like sometimes I have challengers that want to recommit, do questionnaires again.